The Washington Metro Area Transit Authority, or WMATA, has a great tool on their website to take a gander at the ridership on their system. Let's take a look. All right, so let's open a new tab. Go to wmata.com, and I'll show you how to find it. So just hover over Initiatives, find Open Data Hub, or Data. I prefer Data. And then you go down here and hit Ridership Dashboards, and then you have all of your options. So we have Rail, which is the Metro. We have Bus, which is self-explanatory, and we have Metro Parking as well, because you can pay to park at the Metro stations. So let's look at Metro Rail Ridership Summary. This is the one I look at the most often because it's the one I personally think is the most interesting. So you'll see a lot of information here. With this tool, you can find a ton of different types of information, but there's one key type that you can't, and I will talk about that later. So some of this stuff, pretty self-explanatory. You can search by year between 2012 and 2023. I'm recording this in 2023. You can search by exact date, so January 11th all the way to the last time it was updated, which was on the 27th of November. So it's updated about a week after. So today's the 4th of December, which is a Monday, and last week was, I think, yeah. So it's about a week behind, which is fine. So you can search by month, or search by 1 month or a certain combination of months. Same thing with days. You can also look at service type and time period. I don't really look at time period very often, but you can if you're just looking at peak, midday, etc. And you can choose if there's a holiday. If you choose this, it'll add holidays and it'll just lower everything a tiny bit because holidays less people go places. You can also search by station, which is how I figure out the information for my least ridden videos. And we got all the stations on here, all 98 of them, 99, something like that. And then this is where the actual data is shown. So right now you can see average rail entries by year. So basically a rail entry is when you tap your card, the thing opens, you walk in. I don't believe they count fare jumping in this, but fare jumping around right now in 2023, they estimate about 20,000 people a day. So if you want to include that in the data, in your mental data, go ahead. So it's pretty self-explanatory. 2012, there was 581,000 entries per day on average. Weekday's going to be higher, Saturday's going to be lower, Sunday's going to be a bit lower than Saturday. That's generally the trend that you see. So as you can see, the trend is going down. It peaked around 2008, 2009 with the financial crash, and people were trying to spend less money on gas and cars, I assume. But you can see it's going down, which isn't great. It pops under 400K right here. Wait, let's see. Okay, yeah. And then in 2018, it was at not an all-time low, but a low since the 90s when they expanded it. And then 2019, for whatever reason, it popped back up, and you'll notice that trend within most of the stations and stuff as well. But then you can obviously see where COVID happened, and it killed it in 2020. 2021 is a little less because the first 2.5 months of 2020 were normal. But yeah, 2021 was the lowest. Not ever, but probably since the 80s, with average daily entries about 120,000 people, and it's gone up since then. It's about 285 right now for the whole month of 2023, or year of 2023, so on. For the year of 2023 as of November 27th. So that's pretty basic data, but that's also yearly. Yearly is very big, and things are going to change much more granularly, days and months, and even like half years and stuff like that. So here's at the top left under the T, you got this little thing, and here is where you really can start looking at data. So this is the one I look at pretty often, average daily entries per month, and that'll tell you monthly, and you can see. So the busiest month in the last 11 years looks like it was April of 2013, where average entries were 656, including weekends. So if we go over here and do days of week, and we deselect everything, we can manually select the days of the week, the work days. So we can actually see that for the work days, the highest was June of 2012 at 784,000 entries per weekday. That is a ton of people. And remember, the number here for entries is not the number of people that use the system, because the vast majority of people enter once, go to their location, leave, do whatever they're doing, and then come home. So that's 2 rides per day for most people. Now, there are some people that will do more than 2 rides per day, and there are some people that will just use it once. So I'm not sure what the exact number is, but when I calculate, just for my own comparing the population and stuff, I generally will take the number and divide it by 2 and then add a few thousand. I don't know if that's technically the best way of calculating it, but if someone happens to know more, please let me know. Like, I'd love to know if it's divided by 2 and then times like 1.5 or whatever. So if we go here in, so for November, which went down considerably from September, from October, kind of sad. But you'll see that in all of these. For November, it just goes down a lot because October's the last nice month of the year weather-wise. So if we look at November and look at average daily entries, you can do 330 divided by 2. That'll give you about 165. So if every single person got on, went to work, and then went home, there was about 165,000 individual humans that used it. But assuming people ride it more than once, assuming some people only rode one trip, I like to add maybe like 0.15 or something to that. So maybe, 1.15. So it would be around 180. Something like that. Again, I don't know the exact number. Yeah, so you can see it's, again, the same trends. It was going down before COVID, and then it kind of went up in 2019. Then it absolutely destroyed by the beginning of COVID. You can see right there, kind of nuts. Like February of 2020 had 638 entries per weekday, and then April had 35,000. So that's like a 33% decrease, not 33 times decreased or something like that. A massive amount. But yeah, we've seen it steadily go up. It's kind of flatlined here around 330. Then it went up a bit more. 374 was the highest since COVID. That's pretty decent. We even had a bunch of Wednesdays, which are generally the busiest days of the week for Metro. A bunch of Wednesdays were actually over 400K, which was pretty cool. So by month is one thing, but there's still a ton more. There's time period, which you can see what time of day people are using it, and obviously the percent have gone down a lot. So I don't look at that one a ton, but there's one up here that I do want to show you as well. So average daily entries by station. This one's pretty cool, but this is also, for some reason, they do not have a total up here. I don't know why. You can sort these by like the busiest. For example, the PM peak busiest station, Farragut North for some reason, which is kind of surprising because I'm pretty sure that's a red line station. Red line is only one line, but it is the busiest line. But you can't like add, you would have to manually add these up and then sort to find the busiest station. Busiest station is generally Union Station, or it has been for a while. But I heard that Farragut North is actually, or not Farragut North, but which one is it? It's Foggy Bottom GMU. That one is actually the busiest now, which is kind of surprising. Maybe it's because kids have been going back to school there, but I don't know. Anyway, we can also go look down here. Loudon Gateway, Herndon, of course. Yeah, those are going to be tiny baby stations, especially at the PM peak. AM peak, there might be a few more. But that's pretty much it. I mean, there's a ton more different things you can do. For example, this is the ridership per day. Like each day, April 2nd, 2012, April 3rd, 2012. And if we choose days of week, and if we select these and only select Wednesdays, then we can just look at the Wednesdays. And Wednesdays have been a popular day for a while, because even working from home was becoming a thing. That's one of the reasons that it was going down a little bit. Don't know why it went up in 2019. Yeah, but you can also see here where COVID happened, 674, 583, 110, and then 52, and then, all the way down. But I can show you the recent Wednesdays. We've had a lot of 400Ks, which is decent. We're about 57% of pre-COVID levels. And the easy way to calculate that would just be to go to month and then find, so November's not over yet, so we'll do October. So October had an average daily entries on weekdays, or on Wednesdays, because you can calculate this for anything, but we'll do all weekdays. Here we go, deselect all, select weekday, and then, so average weekday 380 in October 2023. And then we find October 2019. There we go. So 3 380. And then, where is it? 682. So 380 divided by 682 gives us 0.55. So yet we're about 0.55 pre-COVID levels. Not great. BART, the Bay Area Rapid Transit in San Francisco, is only at 40%, so at least it's not the lowest. If we want to count November's 350, and then we have 630. So I think that might be a little less. No, pretty much the same. Yeah, and it's very interesting to use this and calculate for certain stations. Like let's see, the least used station on the yellow line is Eisenhower Avenue, a station I didn't even know existed a year ago, probably. But oh yeah, it was closed then, and it was closed then, so that's why it's completely out, because it was closed. So we can see the Eisenhower station actually kind of came back in 2018 for whatever reason, then it kind of went down. But yeah, you can calculate things in any way, or like you can calculate for any station for any time period. It's pretty cool. The only thing that I wish it had was the total for stations, which would just make things easier when I try to find the least used station on certain lines. Because right now I'm using the Wikipedia page, which is called DC Metro Stations or something like that. If I type it in, it'll come up, or at least I can find it on here, I hope. Here we go, list of Washington Metro stations, and then this data is from 2022, but it hasn't really changed, it's just gone up. So yeah, if we look at least used, that's gonna be here. So Loudoun Gateway, that's the least used on Silver Line. There's literally nothing around the station, so it doesn't surprise me. And also this data is from 2022, so it was only a month and a half of data. Cheverly, that video came out earlier, and yeah, very, 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 I understand why it's least used. There's like very little around that station. But yeah, so Eisenhower Avenue, that video will be out at some point next year, hopefully. Haven't filmed it yet, but I'm sure I'll get around to it. Arlington Cemetery, that'll be an interesting one. Naylor Road, I'll have to go there. I've not been past Waterfront on the Green Line. Yeah, but you can just kind of go through. That's the easiest way of calculating it, I'd say, because I'm not going to spend the time and add up all the things on here because it's just not worth my time. I also sometimes look at this one because this will tell you how busy a station is. Obviously, Eisenhower Avenue being a station pretty far out from the city, of course, it's going to be busy in the morning when people are going to work, and then it's going to be a bit more busy, and then around 5 when people are coming home from work, because this will tell you when someone enters the station, when someone exits the station. So, I mean, it's a little bit, no, I wouldn't call that busy, but with 8 trains per hour, there's what's that, like? Trains every 7 minutes. I mean, that's really good for how low the ridership is at this station. But yeah, I mean, you can tell it's, completely closed, or very dead in the wee hours of the night. But yeah, I mean, this is like as much data as any transit system will give you. New York City has a decent one. Sound Transit has a decent one. They don't do stations though, which is kind of annoying. From what I've seen, maybe it's on a different website. TransLink in Vancouver has a decent one as well. But yeah, so that's Metro Rail. Let's just take a quick look at Metro Bus, which is similar. It's the same type of information, so it's not like you have to learn a whole new thing. Same days of week, same things you can search up here, except instead of stations, it's different routes, because obviously most bus stops have, 10 people per day maximum. Depends on the bus stop, of course, but it would be cool if you could look at individual bus stop ridership data, which I know you can on the Pittsburgh Regional Transit website, but it's just too much information, I guess. Maybe they have that internally. But yeah, you can search by route. And yeah, you can also look at the general trends, which the trends are similar, except it peaked in, 2013 for some reason. And then it's just gone down pretty sadly. Because honestly, if this just kept going, we would be pretty close to the levels we are at now, assuming this went down the same way, but it probably wouldn't have. Bus ridership has kind of been a little bit better. Let's see, 173 and 287. So if we want to measure bus ridership recovery since COVID, 60%. So yeah, a bit better. I know if you look at the months, the bus ridership has been doing a bit better. So yeah, 195 and 271. 195, 271. And yeah, 70%. So that is better than the Metro. So 2019 levels aren't exactly ideal, though, compared to 2014. If we look at 2014, if we do 195 divided by 392, you get 50%. Yeah, because 2014, for some reason, and 2013 had really high ridership. I assume there were some. I assume gas prices were low or high, very high then. Not sure though. Not sure. Just a guess. So that's the buses. Again, you can go through here and look at all them. You can also look at by route and what time, just like with the stations. And then last but not least, we'll just check on it real quickly, the Metro parking usage summary. So this basically just tells you how many transactions there were, which means one car was paid for. And parking is only around 30% of pre-COVID levels because of work from home and stuff like that. But if we go to Wednesday, I'm sure it'll be a bit higher because Wednesday is the day people generally go into work, if they go at all. So yeah, 44% doesn't make sense. But yeah, a lot of the people that are using Metro now live walking distance, or maybe they're forced to take a bus if they don't live close to a station. So people are using it. Unfortunately, not as many as before COVID, and ridership recovery, if it ever gets back to pre-COVID levels, is going to take a while, according to this information. And depending on what happens with funding, we could also see ridership go down again due to lack of service, depending on what happens with there. But this is just a quick video. I'm in school right now, so time to make videos is very low. But I thank you for watching, and I hope you can use this to analyze to your heart's content if you're anything like me. All right, have a good day.